A couple of years ago, along with others, I was at a large police event looking at neighbourhoods, and we were all individually asked what we wanted for our neighbourhoods. And I was on the Borsall Heath table, or one of the two Borsall Heath tables, because there's a lot of social actors here. So I said I wanted it to be Britain's most neighbourly neighbourhood. But in fact, I think it already is. It just needs bits of help for some of the more challenging aspects. As a local councillor, every councillor is elected as a Birmingham City Councillor, so we have a responsibility to the entire city and indeed region. But we are particularly mandated on our local neighbourhoods. But my colleagues wouldn't be lining up to support me to throw extra resources at my local neighbourhood in against their own. What we have to do is use and be creative and use all the resources we can get to deliver on that plan locally. And because it's set down on paper, and bits of the council and other authorities can actually physically see how they might contribute to it, then we can do the alchemy of delivering on the changes that are in the plan. So it's an excellent document in that regard. Otherwise, local ideas and ambitions and suggestions are just ideas in the air that will get blown away. I wouldn't say I take decisions about the area so much as help progress in various ways. So a lot of I took part in a lot of the community events. There were other events that were put on for local organisations, and us councillors, I think, attended many of those. So it was a large-scale, wide-scale process involving lots of different engagements with real people in real places in the broad neighbourhood that is Borsall Heath, which really has many characteristics and many kind of separate hyper-local areas and identities. So it was important to involve all of those, or as many as we could. There were many hundreds, if not thousands, of people involved in the discussions, and I was involved in a very significant amount of those. Oh, I think there's almost no comparison. They are entirely different species. I do conceive of partly of Borsall Heath as a village in that it's got the very local interactions, and it's got characters, it's got issues that make it a very local place, but it also sits within a very large city and a very large conurbation, and with economic challenges for many people, educational, health, crime and others. So I would say that there are people and places locally that face a density of issues for themselves and their families that could involve low educational attainment, qualifications, unemployment, mental health issues themselves, and so on. So they face a density of issues that simply isn't on the same level as a rural community faces. They face a different set of circumstances. We've also got big issues around what's known as coterminosity for services, where you have multiple boundaries affecting multiple services that are difficult to pull together to provide effective engagement around individuals. But that is what we are trying to achieve through the Healthy Village programme, which has also been piloted in Borsall Heath, along with two other areas of the city, on the back of the neighbourhood budgeting efforts at trying to combine resources to be more effective. That has meant drilling down to actual real individuals in the place that they live. So what we're trying to do is migrate traditional services away from the silos and the boundaries that exist within a city. Those don't exist so much in a self-contained town or village in a more rural area, to make sure that they are drilled down and serve individuals. And what I would say we're doing with that is mass customization of services for real people in the place that they actually live. So Borsald Heath is the place where we're trying to achieve those goals, and I'm confident that we will see a different range of public services that will be around individuals in the next couple of years. Borsald Heath has had its own strategic partnership facilitated by Borsald Heath Forum for many years, the only neighbourhood in the city that has such a partnership. Others have got tasking groups of various kinds. So that has now been extended to merge with the whole of what is currently Sparkbrook Ward, and that will continue because there's a level of coordination that's required to achieve combined actions, if you like, that can only be done when the services are cooperating with each other. So that strategic partnership is very important and very active, and is led by the communities themselves, the neighbourhood forums, but does involve council services, police, fire, faith communities, and others. It's a very strong partnership which I believe others could benefit from following.